Wow, look at all these character meshes. Can we animate them?
Unless they are rigged, they are useless.
Wait a minute, we just found this neural network called RigNet. Can it help us?
Sure, RigNet takes your mesh and automatically predicts a skeleton matching your expectations, and also predicts surface skinning weights.
And here you are. Your meshes are now animation ready. Watch our online talk to see more
And more characters rigged with RigNet.
Hi everybody, hope you're well. Max here, and today I'm with Evangelos and Zhan. They created RigNet, an IA for rigging that you saw before this video. How are you guys?
I'm good. How are you, Max?
I'm super fine. Thanks for being there today.
Well, thank you for inviting us in this interview. We're also excited to communicate RigNet and their research to the people out there, like artists, animators, and the industry.
Yeah, super exciting project. So could you let us know who are you and who are the member of the team that worked on the project?
Okay, let's start with Zhan.
Okay, okay. My name is Zhan, and I joined UMass since 2017. Before that, I got my bachelor and master degrees from China. And so I'm the major student who work on this. And there is another student whose name is Zhan. He helped in this project. And Evangelos advised me a lot. He's the major advisor of this project. And also we collaborate with two faculty from U Toronto, who is Chris and Karan.
Yeah, so it was a joint effort. Zhan here is my student, who is the primary implementer of the project. Yang too is also helped with the project. He's my student, and I'm an associate professor at the University of Massachusetts at Amherst, working for graphics, 3D vision, and machine learning. So I like the combination of all these areas together, providing powerful tools for artists and for people that like to create content, 3D models, animations, anything about graphics, and also algorithms for understanding the 3D world, for algorithms that are able to recognize 3D objects, segment them automatically, find correspondences between shapes. All of these are kind of stuff that I am excited about. And I also have to mention that, yeah, as Zhan mentioned, this is a joint effort with Karan Singh, professor at the University of Toronto, and Chris Landreth, also from the University of Toronto. And this was really a team effort. It went great.
Yeah, I think it went great from what we saw already on internet. So could you explain us a bit more about the project journey? When did you started the project? What was like the original idea behind it? Is it like a school thing, or was it like a personal project? What's behind RigNet?
Magnus, do you want to start?
Yeah, I think both Zhan and I were excited about animation. We'd like to play with rigged characters and do this kind of task of rigging more automatically. So we were motivated by the fact that we can help artists, we can help people to create animations, to create this content that can be used in films, in games, or in any application that involves graphics, virtual reality, and augmented reality.
Yeah, so from my side, I think so our lab is always interested in the combination of machine learning and graphics, the animation industry. So we found that there are maybe less effort that people do in this animation community. So especially for rigging, we think machine learning can help the rigging pipeline better. So that's the initial idea that inspired us to work on this.
Yeah, that's truly awesome that you are like focusing on the topic of rigging and animation industry. And when I discovered your work, I first showed that to some friends, and they were like amazed. But some of them told me they should have focused on UV first, because UV is like a really hard part for some people, and that was like the fun moment when they were like expecting some UVs to be solved.
Well, yeah, there are many aspects for also future work. I mean, we approach the problem right now of skeleton, animation skeleton extraction, and also skinning. So algorithm solves these two big parts of character rigging, but there are also exciting future problems to solve. So there are like issues of, for example, also creating the animation on top of this predicted skeleton, automatically transferring it perhaps from other sources, from motion capture, from other characters. And we're also working on extending
That's super cool. So
our project ideas. Yeah.
yeah, so what was the biggest challenges working on that?
Zhan,
Well,
would you like to say? Yeah.
okay, yeah. So yeah, I guess the data set is one of the biggest challenges. So there were no previous data set or recipes for generating the training data. Yeah, we have to collect the data by ourselves and have to write some code from scratch to parse this data and to organize them into proper format, and also how to feed them into a neural network. There are lots of work here.
Well, I also have to add that designing the neural network architecture, what kind of neural network we should use, what kind of network we should process meshes, we have basically a novel algorithm, normal technique that processes meshes through a graph neural network, and we have incorporated also a differentiable clustering method to discover the joints, and also a module to find whether joints are connected. So there are many technical parts of the architecture that are novel, and we designed them from scratch. And this is really also new stuff that was a challenge to implement and to develop, to design.
That's super interesting, and you're telling that you were collecting data. So are you working in the animation industry too?
No, so for now I'm still a PhD student, so I don't have animation industry experience, but I'm very interested in animation, so I hope I can have the chance to get into this community in the future.
That's awesome. So how did you like collected the datas?
Fortunately, there is we found a website whose name is Models Resource, and this is a great place that they provide many rigged characters. Here, we would like to say thank you to them. Because they also permit us to use their data. Yeah, I guess. So the models downloaded from Model Resource are still very. Some of them are noisy, and during the offline job, we do some data cleaning on our side. Yeah.
Yeah, so for developing machine learning techniques, there is always a data set of, there is always the challenge of having data sets, the right data sets, and large enough data sets to train neural networks. And Models Resource was a great repository where people are uploading the rigged character, and we can download them. We wrote scripts to mine several thousands of 3D models. And in this manner, we managed to create a big enough dataset to train a deep neural network. Of course, now there are questions whether we can use even fewer data, whether we can use perhaps the so-called few-shot machine learning techniques that can also perform tasks with less amount of training data. But at least in this version of the work, we used, well, big enough data sets that were coming from Models Resource. So our method is supervised with a few thousands of 3D models that are rigged, downloaded from the website.
That's super.
I want to add that we also released the dataset that we use during this work online for public use. So it's after the cleaning from our side, so the noise may be less there. So if people are interested in the dataset, they can download from our project page.
Okay, that's super cool. I will include the link of the project down below the description so people can directly check and also follow the project, because a question is what's the future of the project?
Yes, so we're excited about continuing this idea of automatically rigging and also predicting animations, creating animations on top of this rig. So this is one big question that we would like to solve. So anything that is really resulting in generative models of animation, which makes artists' lives easier and also allows them to have good control over the result, because we're interested in neural network algorithms that provide editable and interpretable outputs to the artist so that they can understand and edit the results when necessary. Everything that's related in this area of generative models of animations and fully rigged characters, I mean, excites us. So there are pretty many open directions in this area.
Yeah, so exactly. So this project is only the first project during my PhD study. So in the following years, I would like to continue working on the general topic about how to apply AI technology to the computer animation community to help animators better with AI and machine learning in their daily jobs. Yeah, there are potential directions about this general topic, like how to get more detailed rigging, and also take additional input as a motion prior, maybe to get better results.
Oh, that's super interesting, and I'm already excited about the future. I would love to ask this question because most of the artists are actually asking themselves, how do you think AI and what you're doing will change the industry?
Yeah, AI is an exciting new tool, really. So when for example, cameras were introduced, it provided a great new tool to create a new form of art, like photography. And we should see AI in this manner. It's a new tool that can help artists to create more content, more creative content, and large quantities of content. Like, for example, our algorithm can be used to rig several hundreds or even thousands of characters out in the wild with some user control. So in this manner, the artists can create content that it's much more diverse for their games or virtual environments. So I believe it's an exciting new tool, and we see it gradually. We hope that gradually will be incorporated also in industry, in the industry tools. In general, I'm very excited about having tools that use neural networks, AI, like a neural version of Photoshop or a neural version of Maya that does mesh processing, 3D modeling, animation. That would be a great new tool for people to use and create art.
Yeah, so in my opinion, so deep learning approach has achieved better than ever performance in many tasks, and this makes it's applicable to many practice contexts. So similarly, with the help of neural network or deep learning, I think artists' work can be much simplified and become more efficient. So those tedious work can be done by AI, and I think artists will be able to focus only on more creative work instead of spend much time on the tedious and repeated work.
Yeah, that's totally what I was thinking, but there are still a lot of artists that actually fear the IA, but what I see from now is mostly an help to be even more creative and just rethink other things. To me, it's just like a new tool. It will only replace like technical and repetitive tasks.
Yeah.
At least
Right, yeah. So we shouldn't see AI or machine learning something that replaces artists. I mean, it's really just a new tool. I mean, that can help artists and create new forms of art. That's what I think.
Yeah, that's what I think too, but I would love also to hear this, your personal opinion about that. Do you think in the future we could get at some point where an IA is actually able to also be creative?
Look, I think that from my personal perspective, AI cannot create art. I mean, in the same manner, I could say that cameras themselves are not artists. Like, so neural networks are not artists. So it is a tool for artists. It is a tool that perhaps with more editable and interpretable, intermediate and final outputs could be just a powerful new tool for artists.
Zhan?
Yeah, so yeah, I have the similar opinions. So maybe people can see many great advantage of AI technology, like the AlphaGo. They play Go games and also many computer games better than people. But I'd like to mention that they are trained or they relied on large number of data. So I think art is more creative thing, and it's more about personal like view of the world. And so I think AI still can't do that from my view. Yeah.
Okay, that's really interesting to hear that point of view. So yeah, what's the future of RigNet as a tool? Is it a solution that will be accessible for everybody?
Yeah. So the code of RigNet will be accessible for the academy use. For now, people can stay updated. We will make it accessible before our presentation at SIGGRAPH.
Yeah. So we'll make the code available for non-commercial purposes for now, and we'll try to do it before the SIGGRAPH presentation.
That's cool. So do you think in the future some company will be able to use that for commercial use? So we could expect in our softwares to get this kind of things?
It's early to say that, but hopefully it will happen.
I'm pretty sure this will happen. That's what I wish for your project. So
Thank you very much.
you're welcome. So what will be your personal wishes and ambition about RigNet? For example, see a film with a character rigged with that.
Yeah, that would be amazing. We'd like to see applications of RigNet, like in games, in films, in industry, everywhere. Would like to see it implemented also as part of a software that can be used really by anybody, by any artist that would like to create something for his own use.
Yeah, it would be exciting for me to see that people will use RigNet in practice. So RigNet can provide a very good start for animators to rig their models since the results are editable. And also another interesting scenario will be like people can use it to rig characters in batch. Maybe in computer games, they have hundreds of thousands of characters to be rigged, and they can use our RigNet to rig very rapidly. Yeah, that would be exciting to see.
That's really awesome. So, and what's your next project beside RigNet?
Well, my next project, as I mentioned just now, is still about the general topic about how to apply AI technology to character animation area. So I'm thinking about maybe it's possible to rig and animate characters at the same time. So this idea makes sense because I think a good rig should be expressive enough to enable the desired animation in artist's imagination. So it's better to like consider what the animation will be in the future and then use that as a prior information to rig the characters.
And you and Evangelos, what's your next
Yeah.
project?
Well, there are many projects going on in the lab. I mean, everything that is related to content creation is an exciting topic for us. So we're working on creating 3D models, textures, animations, everything that's really used in the graphics pipeline. In addition to computer vision, 3D vision projects that try to automatically analyze, recognize, segment 3D shapes, whole scenes, interpret data that are coming from the real world through sensors. Everything is really in the domain of creating content for virtual worlds and also understanding the real world is basically are basically targets of our lab, target projects in our lab.
Yeah, that sounds really awesome. So where people could stay updated about your work and what people can do to help you or where they can join you, because I'm sure after this video a lot of people will probably want to follow what you are doing. So what's the best place to follow your work?
So we will post updates on Facebook. Both Evangelos and my and me will post updates on Facebook, and also the maintenance of the code after it's released will be on GitHub. So if there are any issues you encounter in your usage, you can just propose an issue on GitHub to me. And also, people are welcome to check the project page and Evangelos homepage for that, please.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll publish developments in social media like Facebook primarily and Twitter as well.
Okay, so people, I will update the links down in the description. So if you are curious about RigNet and all the team's project, please follow the link and give them their support because they are doing something really great for our job.
Great. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you. So thanks again for your time today. Thanks again for being able to do this interview, and I wish you the best for all your projects.
Okay, great.
Yeah, same to you, and thank you for the interview.
Yeah, thank you for hosting us. Yeah, and yeah, so we're excited to communicate to you any other developments.
Yeah, sure. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.